Hi, Graham here again from Gatehouse. So today I thought we would have a look at this control board here. You might have one the same in your gate kit. It's been around for about 20 years. It's actually a really good, robust control board. There's not much that can go wrong, but yeah, they're always improving them, always upgrading them, and it's a common board for a lot of swing gates. Okay, so I just want to show you a few things. So let's pull the plug out. Let's put some power in there. Turn the power on. Okay, so power is now connected, and you have a blue light, a blue LED there shining up. That tells me the board is alive. So let's have a look at a few features here. So we've got connections along the bottom here for different things. We have two sets of screws down the bottom for the motors, motor 1, motor 2. They go on there. I've just connected some light bulbs at the moment. That goes on there. Now, just one little thing. If you have only a single gate, it does not go on motor 1. It always goes on motor 2. And the reason for that is motor 2 has different settings to motor 1. So the things like auto close and all that will work properly if you do that. But you do need to go into the program, and which I'll show you in a minute, to set single gate or double gate. You need to set that yourself. But when we send the kit out, we already set that for you, so you don't really need to worry about it. Now, so let's look at remote control. One of these. How does that connect to this board? Very simple. You have 3 buttons in a row across there. So incline, function, and decline. So that means incline is going uphill with numbers, function is to set something, and decline is going down in numbers. Underneath those 3 buttons, there's another button, just there, just a single one, right? That is a learn button. So if you want to connect a remote to your board, you push and release. See, the blue light went out, and then you click the remote. That's all you do. It's searching for the remote. It's found the remote. It came up with a number. It told me that it was connected, and that's all you need to do. So now, if I want to click the remote, light comes on. See the blue light down there? That tells me gate motor number 2, which is a single gate, is working. Okay, so blue light is always on. It's in standby mode. So single gate goes on motor 2, double gates goes on 1 and 2. So when you program the remote to the board, every button that's usable, which is button 1, button 2, is connected. So if you set it for a single gate, it's button 1, open, close, whatever. If you want to set it for a double gate, it's button number 2, 2 gates open, 2 gates close. But if you use button 1 on a double gate board, then 1 gate will open, which is called a pedestrian open. So that's all there as well. It's all function in the board. So it's easy. Right, next thing. We have an antenna. That's that black wire hanging out. It's quite stiff, black wire hanging out there. And sometimes we have a connection there where you can stick an external antenna, like something on a gate post up high, piece of long wire or something like that. But if your board does not have that green connection there, you can pull the plastic off the end of it, peel back the plastic a little bit on the wire, and just join another wire to it. That's something you can do with that. It's pretty easy. But the new ones that we just came out last week or 2 have got a special connection there that you can screw a wire into. Now you've got the program, incline, function, decline. So let's say you want to, you've got a manual that comes with it. Make sure you read the manual. That's my biggest bugbear with people, is they don't read manuals, because I don't like reading manuals. So we think we could work it out, and we get stuck sometimes. But anyway, let's say we want to set up auto close. If you look up in the manual, it says P9 is the auto close function. So You have three buttons in a row. The function button in the middle, you hold it in and see what happens. You have to wait a few seconds and then see that come up. What does it say? PO. So we go incline, which is uphill, until we get to P9. There we go, P9, all right? Then we push the function button again, middle one. What does it say? 0, 0, which means the auto close function is not turned on, it's turned off. But if we go to the incline, going uphill, we can go maybe 10 seconds or so, push that, and then push the function button again. It is now set. So the auto close function is set. You don't have to change it, happens automatically. And you'll notice when you have your gate motors opening, you have the blue light coming on there on the board there. That means the board's alive. And when the gates open and they stop at the open position, when they get to that point, then that blue light starts to flash, which is a timer. And the timer is telling you it's going to close in whatever you've set it for, 10 seconds or so. So you can go from 5 seconds to 60 seconds. So you've got plenty of range there. So you can use any of the function buttons to change the speed. You have to be a bit careful with speed. The bigger the gate, the slower you want it to be, because some big gates get a bit of travel happening because of their length and their weight, and they are a little bit harder to control. So we always tell people to slow the gate speed down if the bigger the gate is. Small gates are fine. Now there's other things on there. You can do soft start, soft close. That's all set in the factory, but you can adjust it. You've got the auto close. You've got stall force. Stall force is a very important part. Let's say you get your gates up and running and boards work. You click the remote and the gates go a little way and then they stop, maybe a meter, and there's a reason for that. That is, you have a slow start, and that might be for a few seconds, and then it kicks into a high running speed, and then near the end it goes back to a slow finish, so it slows down so it doesn't bang so hard. So in that junction between slow and high speed, if it stops around about a meter opening or closing, it's usually because it's having trouble adjusting to the weight of the gate, the length of the gate, and changing speed all at the same time. So the way to do that is you go into you go motor 1 or motor 2, whichever one is causing the problem. You go into that on the function area, and you increase the number maybe 1 or 2, and then set it with the function again, and then try it again. If it still stalls, then go up another 2 numbers and then set it again. You do that until it stops stalling, basically. So that's the same with, if it's a double gate, you have to work out which gate is going to which terminal to know if it's gate 1 or gate 2, and then you just adjust that gate on the control board here. All right. So if it's a single gate, it's on gate motor number 2. Then when you go in your manual, you go to adjusting stall force for gate number 2, and then you'll go up maybe 1 or 2 numbers and try it. If it doesn't work, up another 2 numbers and try it. You do that until it stops stalling. Then or it could be you've got the speed set too high. So there's a high speed running on this. There's a high speed running time. So how long between slow start and slow finish is the speed, the running speed. But there's also another function for how fast you want the gate to go. And the bigger the gate, the lower that number should be. So it comes out from factory, I think it's about 5, and you might take it down to say, all right, so that's the function settings. Pretty easy to do, but some people find it complicated. It is a little bit complicated if you don't know, but all control boards work the same way. They all have that microchip in there, and it needs the 3 buttons to be able to change how that microchip works. So all control boards look complicated, but they all work the same way. So there's not one easier than another. So I plugged some 24 volts into here. So if you have a solar system, batteries, that goes into that terminal just there. So I'm running on 24 volts DC at the moment. If I want to run on AC, you have a transformer. Transformer connects to the mains power, and then the output of the transformer connects into here, that orange plug there. Just pull it out, connect your wires to it from the transformer, plug it in, and that will create mains power 24 volt AC to the control board if you're running mains. So there's also an interesting thing here. A lot of people say that I send them the wrong transformer because the transformer is only 18 volts, whereas the control board's 24. So I've had a few people say to me, you sent me the wrong one, send the right one please. It's actually correct. 18 volt transformer is the correct one. The reason for that is that AC comes in 18 volts, it goes through that block there, that's called a bridge rectifier, and that converts AC to DC, which is what battery is. So that converts to DC. When that happens, it's times 1.3 in that conversion from AC to DC. So 18 volts in from a transformer comes out at 24 volts DC. So you never have a 24 volt transformer. If you did, the voltage coming out of that would probably be around 30 volts, and that's too high. You might blow the board on that. So just be aware of that. There are no transformers that are 24 volt really. You get a few, but most of them are 18 and a half. We've got, there's that little, it's the antenna as I said before. That little unit on the right hand side there is the receiver. That little board sticking up, you can see it sticking up there. That is the receiver. Now that can be affected by lightning or dampness, moisture, lots of things like that. And you find if you can't program the remote at all, or maybe the remote is connected, when you do it, it connects, and then you go to use the remote again and it's not connected. So it's not holding the remote. So it's usually that receiver there that packs up, and it's just something that happens. We have a lot of people in Queensland and other places that have storms and lightning, and that can affect the board, the receiver on the board. That's one of the problems with all gate kits, not just with one brand. They all do that. We've had a lot of replacement boards this last 12 months from Queensland, Victoria, New South Wales, and even up north of Perth. The boards just go bang, and it's usually lightning. There's nothing you can do about it. You can change the board yourself. It's not you just have to order another board, not that expensive, and you just undo the screws that hold it in the box, pull the plugs out, put it in, put the plugs of the other one back in, and it's up and running. And all you need to do is program the remotes the same way. Push the learn button, let it go, push the button on the remote, let it go, all done. Now we've got other connections at the bottom here, because this particular board will take two types of lock. It will take an electric lock, and it will take a magnetic lock. Now they're quite different systems if you think about how locks work. A magnetic lock requires power to it all the time to work. An electric lock uses power only to open it. So if you have a solar system and you have a magnetic lock on it, it's drawing power from the batteries a whole time, so the batteries will go flat within a few hours, because the batteries are charging when they're running that magnetic lock. They're running it all the time, so it drains the batteries down. That's why on a solar system you only use an electric lock. Electric lock uses mechanical to close, so it goes, joins up, click, click, and then to open the electric lock, you click the remote. It sends 24 volts to the board, which runs down to the lock, opens the lock, and the motor starts all at the same time. Right? So two types of lock. You can just wire up which one you want. Basically, you've got two options, which is not common. A lot of control boards don't have magnetic lock. I would suggest if you have electric system, a magnetic lock is a really good system. It takes hundreds of kilos of force to be able to open the gate by pushing it. So it holds it for wind and people and animals, that sort of stuff. Also, we've got infrared beams here. So you can put a beam across your swing gates. So if there's a car in the way, or a horse float gets stuck in the driveway, the gates are not going to bang on the side, they'll just stop or go back to where they came from. That's a good option there. It's all written on the board, everything you need to know, but you can't actually see it until you pull the plugs out. It's written on the board. You can put anything like an accessory, because it's got 12 volts out, so you can do infrared beam, you can do the lights for a keypad if it's electric lights. You can do all sorts of things with these. And you've got connections on the side here for, let's say you're using a universal receiver, and you can connect it up to a single gate, double gates, and get power from the 12 volts, and that connects just over the side. But I give you a sheet with the board that's got all these accessories on the sheet, shows you where the wires go. So you can do it yourself, you can add things onto it as you go. All right, a really good little board. Been around a long time. It's a good little board, I like them. Cheers.